We're playing Guess the Card, so we're going to zoom in on a card that I select. She doesn't know. She has no idea what cards I'm picking. It's from the Foundations set. The plan here is for me to show her the art. She's going to try to guess a couple of things. One of those things is the type. She's going to try to guess the type of the card. So we're talking land, creature, enchantment, planeswalker. I'll give her a list. She is a new player. She's basically only played a few games of Magic, and so she should have no idea what these cards are, but she should start to recognize land or other types that are common if you play the game at all. Also be trying to guess the color or colors of the card, and then for fun, we'll see if she can try to guess what the card does.
We'll just have to see.
We'll just have to see. So that brings us to our first card. All right, so as far as the type of card you think this is, what do you think this is? So I'm going to give you some options. It could be land, it could be creature, it could be artifact, enchantment, planeswalker, battle, instant, or sorcery. I should probably give you that on a sticky note.
That's a lot of things to remember.
I'm going to give you that on a sticky note. She now has that list, which I recognize is pretty large list.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things on there.
If you need me to explain any of those, I certainly can. You may not know the difference between an enchantment. So what do you think we have here?
I don't think it's going to be a land. I don't think that at all. I'm stuck between a few. I'm going to go with instant.
Instant. So you think this artwork is signifying something that you can cast at any time during the game, as long as you have enough mana?
Yeah, it's definitely giving that vibe.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you what it is. It is not an instant.
Oh, darn.
No, that's a good guess. A very good guess. It's pretty close. It's an enchantment.
I was going to guess enchantment.
It's an enchantment. Claire, we're going to move on to the color. What color?
Are you able to tell me how many colors?
I think that's a good question. You can basically guess the mana value, or guess some cards are 2 and a blue, or 2 and a
red and green.
2 and a red and a green. So try to guess that. I would focus more so just on the color wheel. So
I know the color wheel. The colors go with like card. So I'm gonna go with red and white.
Red and white.
And I'm gonna guess 2 and then red and white.
2 and then a red and a white. So that's 4 mana card. All right. You were pretty close on the total mana. So it's actually 4 mana and 1 green.
Oh my, green.
This is a green card. Next and last for this particular card is, now that you know it's an enchantment, it's 4 and a green, what do you think it does? Now this is going to be a lot harder, but worth a try.
What is just one thing that I think an enchantment would do?
Usually an enchantment goes onto the battlefield and it'll sit there and it'll do stuff every once in a while.
Oh, like that one that I have, but that's not an enchantment. Okay.
So it hangs out on the battlefield, and if something triggers it, then it'll do a thing. Or come into the battlefield doing a certain thing and sitting there pretty.
Okay, I guess that whenever your opponent discards something, it will add a 1/1 counter to another card.
Ooh, that's a really good guess. So what's going on here is, if an effect would create 1 or more tokens under your control, it creates twice that many instead. If you would put 1 or more counters on a permanent, it puts twice that many counters on a permanent. The card is named Doubling Season, so therefore it doubles things, right? And so that's what's happening. Whether it's tokens or whether it's counters, it doesn't double everything, but it doubles those things. I think you said the opponent discards, you put a 1/1 on a creature. Not a bad guess.
I didn't say creature, I just said something that you have.
Oh, well,
So I was
Well,
almost there.
You were almost there. That was a good guess. All right, good job. We have the second card.
Oh,
This one is my favorite art. I know I made a video about my top picks for art, but this has grown to be. I should have ranked this higher. But as far as the type, what type do you think this card falls under?
These are all of them, right?
Yeah, those are all the types.
I think it's an enchantment. No. I think creature.
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 That's your final answer.
Creature is my final answer.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to tell you that you are wrong. It is not a creature, although you're not too far away. It's a sorcery. Sorcery is something that can be cast on whoever's turn it is on their main phase. So that you have basically 2 opportunities to cast sorcery. So it's not something that's instant or anything like that, but it is something that you play and it does a thing. So now the next thing to try to guess would be the mana.
Ooh, I think in total, not like the number and however many colors.
Just both. You can try to guess how much you think this card costs total. Yeah, and then what mana is required.
Overall, I think it's 5 mana. And then the colors, I think blue and black.
Blue and black.
Because it seems like a dark card. Like a I want to crush your soul card.
This is probably a friendly card, I would think. This is 9.
Oh my.
It's 7 and then 2 black.
Just black.
That's a crazy number. Like 9 mana for that cost, there's something awesome that happens. So you guessed enchantment, it's a sorcery. You guessed the mana value. What do you think this card does?
Wipes your opponent's whole battlefield.
That's it?
And the player who's playing it gets to take 2 cards from the opponent.
That would be pretty brutal. I think this is even more impactful than that. Rise of the Dark Realms.
Rise of Dark Realms.
Put all creature cards from all graveyards onto the battlefield under your control.
So you get every single one.
You were close. It doesn't destroy all creatures. It just puts everything, all graveyards, onto the battlefield under your control. That is so fun. This card, it does cost an absolute arm and a leg, and
it makes up for it though. Wait, so to my understanding, you get your opponent's graveyard and your graveyard, all of your creature cards, and you control all of them, and you can attack with all of them.
They become yours on the battlefield. They'll go from the graveyard to the battlefield. They will be on your side. How about that? That's a card and a half.
That is a full 2 cards and a half.
Yeah, I would do it.
I would do it.
I'm gonna do it. Super fun card. And the artwork, absolutely
It's so beautiful.
legendary.
I want a poster of it.
All right, this is what we have next. What do you think? What type do you think this is?
Let's see. What vibe is it giving first? I think that it is a land.
A land. So what if I were to tell you that it is not a land?
I would believe it. I was taking a wild guess.
This is an artifact. And an artifact is usually, most of the time, it's an item. I didn't realize there was a frog at the end of this.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
That makes it so much better.
But an artifact is typically an item. So you could say an equipment or just an inanimate object, usually, that does things. You can put it onto creatures or it'll sometimes just sit to the side. But yeah, it's an artifact. What do you think about the land situation?
I'm gonna say 10 is the overall number.
10 mana?
Overall number.
That's a really high number.
Well, the last one was high too.
It was 9, but you're saying 10.
I think it has 3 blue, and then 7 card, or 7 mana.
7 and 3 blue. Interesting. Well, this is a 4 mana card.
Oh.
That's it.
Oh.
4 mana of any kind.
Oh.
That's alright. What do you think this does?
Ooh.
I'll say this. It's an artifact, so it's an object. We have a weapon here, right?
Yeah.
This is a cool axe. It costs 4 mana. So, there you go.
Artifact, 4 mana, cool axe.
If you were to just hand a creature an axe like this, what do you think it would do?
I think it... Ooh, hold on. This is a tough one. I think that it would kill 1 or 2 of your opponent's creatures that is in the battlefield.
You're close. This...
Whoa.
Here we are. Leyline axe. Yes, equip 3. So I don't know if 2 is default for equip, if there even is a default. Let me know if there is. On this one, it's specified as 3. If it's in your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield. This will give a creature +1/+1, double strike, and trample. That's pretty nice. 4 mana. You think it's worth it? You think that? Would you put this on a creature?
Everything that you have said has gone through one ear and out the other. Sorry, but let me read it.
Take your time. Always read the card.
I think it's worth it.
It costs 4 mana to put it on the battlefield to the side. And then,
Well, I would say at least 3 or 2.
I think what makes it worth it is the opening hand.
Yeah.
If you start it in your opening hand, you don't have to pay that 4 mana cost. So therefore, it's just 3 mana for a +1/+1, double strike, and trample. That's pretty nice.
Pretty good.
Double strike and trample definitely go well. So this is an awesome card, both in art and in function.
Definitely went way high on the mana price.
It even has flavor text.
Wow.
Look at it. What do you think of this one?
It's kind of Lord of the Rings-esque.
It does have that vibe, I guess. What type of card do you think this is?
I think it is a Planeswalker.
Ooh, Planeswalker, huh? You think this guy's just walking planes? It's a legendary creature.
Come on, man. How am I supposed to guess that if it's not on here?
Creature's on there. I didn't specify legendary creature.
If I said creature, then you would still count it, I guess.
It would 100% count. Absolutely. A legendary creature just means you can only have one of them on the board. You can't have more than one legendary creature of the same name. That's what this is a legendary creature. How much do you think this legendary creature costs?
There's white, black, green, blue. Alright, I think in total it's gonna be 6. Overall total, 6. You are going to have 4 white and 2.
Why do you think white?
I don't really pick it, and I don't think it's red because red is a dragon type, lava, and then blue is underwater, black is really dark, a little bit of blood. So I think it's white, because white is like
Well, what do you think white is?
clouds and sky, but it's not giving forest, kind of is, but not a lot. It's not giving water or nor fire.
All right, you ready? It costs 2, and it's 1 and then a black.
What?
No, not white.
I said what?
Well, 1 and a black.
No way. Ow, though. It's not like...
Tiny Bones. Double burglar.
He's burglaring. I don't know about bobbling. His right hand is interesting. I can't tell which direction it's facing.
It's like this, trying to grab something, and then one of them looks like it's trying to reach the sky. So it's like...
That's really distracting me. We have Tiny Bones, full art, but he's a legendary creature. He's only 2 mana, and I forgot to ask you what you thought he did.
That's okay.
I forgot, but whenever an opponent discards a card, exile it from their graveyard with a stash counter.
I think it's a stash counter.
It's a stash counter. It's a counter, That's called a stash. During your turn, you may play cards you don't own with stash counters on them from exile. And mana of any type can be spent to cast those spells. And then, additionally, each opponent discards a card or mana, 3 and a black, activate as a sorcery. So he's doing quite a bit. He has a lot of value for a 2 mana card. And he's a 3 toughness, so definitely a strong card.
I would say so.
What do you think of the artwork? You like this artwork?
I really like it. I almost said it was very pretty. It's not exactly pretty, but it's enjoyable. It's enjoyable.
It's fun. A lot of fun.
It's a fun, enjoyable, little bit creepy card.
I don't know if his head is turned around. I'm looking at his hands and his fingernails. It looks like his body is facing away from us, but his head is facing towards us.
But why would the belt latch in the back
exactly.
instead of the front?
So that's why I'm confused.
He's just a twisted guy.
Maybe that's what Tiny Bones looks like, and I've never noticed. Never noticed until now. Maybe his arm, one of his arms is backwards. Because I'm looking at his elbow. His left arm.
It goes away from him.
I need answers.
Help.
We have our next card.
Oh, he looks like a gambler.
Possibly some gambling going on here. Don't worry about that.
I wasn't going to.
This is good. I'm really interested. All right, so what do you think the type is?
Oh boy. Alright, I think... Wait, hold on. Can you explain Planeswalker?
All right, so a planeswalker is a powerful mage in the game who can travel between infinite worlds of the multiverse. They gain knowledge and power from their experiences. Really cool, powerful beings that
can just do stuff?
It can just do stuff. Really powerful. You put them on the battlefield and then you can plus or minus them. And if you plus them up to a certain number, you get to use an ultimate.
Like a counter?
That's exactly what it is.
I think this is a sorcery.
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 You're very close. You're always very close. This is an instant.
I was gonna say instant.
It's hard though with the artwork. This is why I think this is fun. And it's hard to tell sometimes. When you think, oh, well, a creature will be a creature and everything else will be, well, it's everything else that becomes really difficult. The next question is the mana.
Since this is an instant.
So it's something that can be played anytime, instantly.
Since it's an instant, and it can just do whatever it wants at any time, I'm going to say that it will be 3 overall.
We're all 3.
I think that it's going to be 2 red, 1 other card. 1 other mana, sorry.
You say 1 mana and 2 red. Well, this is not a red card, nor is it 3. 1 mana only. Well, it's 1 blue mana, what this is.
Oh, 1 blue. And I was very close.
I would say you were.
At least I'll guess a low number than a high number.
So, what do you think this card does?
I think you get to search your deck for 2 mana and put it in your hand.
Ooh, you're kind of close because there are 2 treasure tokens that get created, and a treasure token turns into mana.
I was like right on the deck.
Yeah, but also it counters target non-creature spell. So it doesn't counter anything, but it counters non-creature spells.
Technically, I was right because I don't know what treasure tokens are.
It's any color mana that you'd like, typically. But you're not giving yourself 2 treasure tokens. You're giving your opponent 2 treasure tokens.
Oh.
It says its controller. Its controller is the card that you're countering. It's kind of tricky, but for 1 mana to be able to say, nope, you can't do that. Well, the payoff or the flip side is that they get 2 mana tokens that turn into mana.
I was almost there.
You were almost there. Well, that was a lot of fun. Did you have fun?
I had a lot of fun.
I think we're going to do this again. Other interesting cards that Foundations has. I'm learning the cards a little bit better as well. A lot of these cards I haven't really played with them a whole lot or at all. Like this one, I haven't played with an offer you can't refuse. But now I know exactly what it does. I don't think I'm gonna forget that. So